Hey everybody, Winstreak here. Today's question comes from 19Kiba 2007, and they are trying to make a virus that spreads around the world. I have something built here. Essentially, it checks the spaces around it and has a chance for it to spread, and then after 7.5 seconds, the initial virus dies off. That can be reset if it moves there again, and we can edit those around and see that now it will not be as easily spread. It'll die off a lot faster. And I'll show you how I did it. I started out with making my grid. So this can be done a bunch of different ways. I was just trying to throw a quick grid down there. So I create 6 different sprite objects, and then once those are all placed, one below the next, and that's done by starting out with a global y for the y value of 25, which is the size of my sprites, and then multiplying that y by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that just stacks them right on top of each other 6 long, and then we add 25 to the x and repeat that, so it'll be 6 down and then 25 across. So that handles that code, and then on left click I can start my virus, and that's done by giving my sprite a virus animation, and essentially it just changes and sits on virus, and it also gives it a value of 5 under life, or 15 was my initial one that made it last a lot longer, and that'll just be my countdown timer until they die. So every 0.5 seconds we will call the function spread, and we will also subtract 1 life from the current life ticker of virus. If that life ever drops down to 0 or less, we set it back to healthy. If that virus sprite is overlapping another sprite, we will set them to a potential disease. This is done by making the healthy sprite a smaller, let me zoom out here, a smaller size than my virus sprite. So it's the same image, it's just we zoom out and add an extra layer, and essentially what that would do is if I have them side by side, it would count as overlapping these other cells here, and those become potential viruses. So everything that the virus is overlapping, which will be all 8 cells around it, will get that potential virus ticker, which is a boolean that's on here. They all start out as false, and then once it's no longer being overlapped, it goes back to false, because we don't want ones that aren't touching to have a chance to trigger. And then every 0.5 seconds we call the spread function, and any one of the potential disease sprites has a 0 to 99.999 roll, and if it's above 90, then it'll be set to virus and give it a life counter, just like we did with our initial click. And then we just get to watch it spread. So I can grab a few, and we can just see what happens. And yeah, that should give you the base of your virus spreading game. Hopefully that helps, and let me know how your project ends up. Have a good one.